What is up, guys? This is the Overleveled podcast, episode 26. I believe it is 26. And that is a whole lot of episodes. We got a couple of topics to talk about. There's been quite a bit, in the movie side of things and all of that, and some interesting topics as well for the gaming side of things. But first, we're gonna quickly kind of discuss some things that we haven't, discussed in the previous episode that I forgot to bring up. But there's a very interesting rumor that kind of came about, but then it's kind of confirmed in a way with Activision kind of, talking about like, Overwatch is getting, some patches and loot crates and Call of Duty and all of that. But the rumor started off of a Spyro remake possibly happening, and Activision, basically said that they're also going into the remasters of their IP library, which is true that they do own the Spyro license, which means that they are possibly remaking Spyro, which they've done it with Crash Bandicoot, and it's been a success. And it's kind of good news for gamers because I know a lot of people like Spyro, including me. And it's like one of those games that has impacted, people's childhood. And I find it awesome that they would remake it into something awesome like the Crash Bandicoot remake. And personally, I think that they kind of should keep doing this in a way, because all Activision's truly known for is Call of Duty and Destiny. And that's about it. We're not talking about like Blizzard's, Activision owns Blizzard. That's a subsidiary company. But I don't think of that. I just think of Activision. They just do Call of Duty, Destiny. That's it. But now you got Crash Bandicoot and them, possibly making a, actual game, a new game of the Crash Bandicoot because of the sales for the remake. And now we're hearing things about the Spyro, which I find awesome. And yeah, guys, what do you think about a possible Spyro remake? And we'll start off with Inspector.
I mean, it's good for like the fan base, because I know there's a huge fan base of Spyro. I never really got into Spyro, but I know there's a huge fan base for it, and I think since like they've been remaking and remastering all these classic games, Spyro was I was kind of thinking Spyro would kind of be the next on the docket after Crash, because it's probably the second biggest platformer during the PS1 era.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so not surprised.
Are you surprised that Activision is doing this? That they're remaking these games and just like how do you think it came about? Like them remaking Crash and doing this? You think it's because Sony was just like, hey, a lot of people want this, and we'll make a deal because Crash is very strongly associated with PlayStation, and Spyro is the same way as well. You think that's what came about? Or
yeah, I think after the like the big like Crash already came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
The remake, the Insane Trilogy. I think after like the great response to the Insane Trilogy, that I think Sony was just like, after that success, we can probably make another success if we remake Spyro. So I think it was Sony's decision, less of Activision's decision.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, as you said, like Activision company, not Activision Blizzard, like the merged company, but Activision. I always see Activision as Call of Duty. Like that's all I see.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm glad that they're moving forward with these remakes and remasters.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And Marvel DC fans here, and I know he wanted to talk about the Spyro remake. last episode, and now we got more news reports of Activision kind of confirming that they're going to remake from their like old IP library. So, Marvel DC fan, what do you think?
Well, I think I was telling you last week, like, I'm really happy for this because, Spyro was a franchise that, I mean, I never really got to experience. Uh, I played a couple games, but not really play it through in its entirety. So, I mean, I'm excited to kind of jump in like I did with Crash and see what, people loved about it back in the 90s. So,
All right. That's good to hear. What about you, Taladio? What do you think?
Well, I think it's a good thing that they're remastering it. It would definitely sell, obviously, and the second thing would be it would bring back a lot of memories for people who played the Spyro games. Me in particular, I wasn't into Spyro. I mean, yeah, sue me for saying that, but at the end of the day, it's like I was more of a Crash Bandicoot guy anyway. Um, but like it would definitely bring back memories for people who played Spyro, who understand the lore and all that, and just to see how the graphics compare with the original to the remaster and how much of a difference has it made. And as well, people playing that game again will definitely be appealing for for everyone really who's got a PS4. That is.
Yep. Exactly. All right. So some more news. We're going to talk quickly about PS Plus. There's two major news about PS Plus. And the second set of news kind of will also be theories as to why this is happening. But PS Plus right now, I'm going to read off the list of PS Plus games for March 2018. And also we're going to compare it to the Xbox Gold for March 2018 as well. So first we got the biggest game, one of like the nominated for Game of the Year at the time the game came out. We got Bloodborne for PS4, free on PS Plus March 2018. Ratchet and Clank, which was another amazing remake of a game, which was on PS4. And then Legend of K, that's PS3. Mighty Number 9. Oh boy, that's on PS3 as well. Don't get it. That game was not great. Claire Extended Cut, PS Vita. Bombing Busters, PS Vita. And we're now going to, I guess, compare Xbox Gold for March 2018 and to see how it stacks up with Sony's PS Plus lineup. So here we go. Games. Okay, here we are. Xbox Games with Gold. Let me look. So, okay. Xbox members can start off their month with the 2016 game from Ubisoft, Trials of the Blood Dragon, which I think is I never even heard of it.
Me neither.
So let's go. All right, we'll just go there and see. Okay. And oh my gosh, okay. Yeah, Super Hot. Never heard of it.
Oh, Super Hot, I think is that like that shooter that like it was Jim Sterling really liked it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And okay. Yeah, these are for the Xbox One. Yeah. Now we're going to 360. March 1st, Brave the video game. And then on March 16th, Quantum Conundrum. Okay, those are the games for Xbox Gold, and I'll give my thoughts compared to PlayStation 4. Yet again, PlayStation shits on Xbox's games with Gold with PS Plus. I don't know why they haven't kind of released their own like exclusives, for free for their Gold members. It's just I don't give a shit about a 360 Connect game, nor like Trials of the Blood Dragon or Quantum Conundrum. Maybe Super Hot, but like not something I would, overly be excited about. where you compare it to the PlayStation Plus side of things, where you get Bloodborne, which is an amazing game. And if you get that for free on PS Plus, buy the expansion for it, because you'd be saving a hell of a lot of money by doing that. If you have PS Plus, of course. And also Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet and Clank is another amazing game to experience, and you have PS Plus for free. And it's awesome. And Mighty Number 9 is probably the only game that is not good on the PS Plus list, but they have awesome games, and they'll continue to dominate the games with gold. Games with gold. I don't know. Maybe Microsoft doesn't care anymore with games with gold. But Inspector, what do you think of PlayStation's PS Plus games and Xbox games with gold?
They PlayStation totally blows Xbox out of the water with these games like Bloodborne. I know a lot of people love Bloodborne, but I'm not into those like super challenging games.
Yeah, the hard games where you're like,
yeah, the hard games where it's like I would rather just enjoy the game, not pull my hair out and throw the controller against the wall.
Yeah, I got
but
you.
Ratchet and Clank, I've actually never played a Ratchet and Clank game like in all the series, but I know there's a big fan base, and it's one of the most like innovative platformers that was made. Isn't Ratchet and Clank Insomniac?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, that's what I thought. Yeah, it was one of the biggest games during the PS2, PS3 era. So yeah, and I don't really have that many comments on games with gold because I haven't heard of none of those games.
Yep, and you got a Connect game there.
Yeah.
That Disney, is it Disney? Yeah, Disney Pixar Brave. Yeah, Xbox 360 Connect. Yeah, that's no bueno. Marvel DC fan, what do you think the lists for those free games with PS Plus and games with gold? Which one do you think's better? Which one do you think has better value for your buck?
PlayStation for sure has the more a better library than what Xbox Gold has, which is something I usually don't think about whenever I see PS Plus listings and all that kind of stuff. I feel sometimes that it switches back and forth, where some months they do have amazing titles, and then sometimes they just kind of put out crap. So yeah, but for this month in particular, overall a good selection. Like Bloodborne, I haven't played it in a long time, so maybe this is a good kind of this will be good for me to kind of jump back in and try it again. Ratchet and Clank, the last one I played was Up Your Arsenal, so I can't wait to try out the remake. So the only game that is probably the one I'm not going to play is Mighty Number 9, because I already own it on, well, I played it on the Wii U version, which, whoa, was that a bad idea. So.
Oh, yeah. And plus, I believe it's just for PS3, that version of it. So we can't get it on the PS4, which I'm fine with,
Yeah, me too.
I'm not going to play it. So, Taladia, you're an Xbox gamer, right? You have game. Of course, you have the paid membership because you have to pay online. What do you think between the two services and the games that you get for March?
Well, firstly, I think the whole games-wise between PlayStation and Xbox is that I believe PlayStation has more better games than Xbox does. Straight up. And the fact that Xbox aren't pushing themselves to put big games, obviously it just doesn't surprise me. It's the fact that I know that PlayStation does well, it sells well, even with the deals and everything they do every month. But I think the whole PlayStation bundle thing for this month is really, really good.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just like I don't know if they really care about this games with gold anymore. It's like,
No, they don't. I'll be straight up with you. They don't.
and I think
Because
they're just gonna focus on the Game Pass,
yeah,
which is
they're more focused on the Game Pass than the
games with gold.
than games of gold, because they know that games of gold you'll get it for free. And that, like, for as an example, they did 3 days for WWE 2K17, and nobody bought it after that because the game died out.
Yeah.
And with the gold pass, they thought, all right, we can make money off it. You have to subscribe to it, blah 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 blah. And at the end of the day, it just doesn't work out for Xbox at all, or Microsoft. I think they should just focus on games of gold and give us the games which we feel as if that needs to be top priority. So games such as that back on the 360 days that were actually really really decent,
Mm-hmm.
and just bring those games out for the Xbox. Like look what PlayStation is doing. They're giving us Bloodborne. They're giving you guys really other cool games as well, isn't it?
Yeah, Ratchet and Clank and all that.
Yeah, Ratchet and Clank. Yeah, because it's a very very decent game. Where Microsoft just doesn't give two craps or two monkeys about it. I just feel as if, as an Xbox consumer, I think they need to really really look at what they have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, but got to go into the news about the other PS Plus, and
Go
this
on.
is starting next year. That PS Plus will not be no longer supporting PS3 and PS Vita in 2019, which actually I didn't really even see any negative feedback from people about this. I'm hearing more rumblings about, is the PS5 going to be announced in 2019 and coming out in 2020, because it makes sense. We're in the fifth year, I guess, with the PS4, and people need to realize also, because I know people are like, it's too soon, where a lot of people don't realize that the PS3 and 360 generation was the longest generation in console history, and the reason for that was because of the recession. And it would have been good. It wouldn't have been good if they were like, here's the PS4 and Xbox One early, because that could have created a video game market crash, which we've already had one of those, and that didn't end too well. And it took a while for the gaming market to come back. But I guess let's get our opinions. Yeah, Inspector, what do you think about the PS Plus? Next year dropping the Vita and PS3. You think it's because they're making room for a potential PS5 announcement going along the lines of that?
I think it makes sense, just because I think backwards compatibility is kind of like losing interest in the community, because I think people are now more focused on new games than they are old games, like older games.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a great way for Sony to they could still acknowledge those games, but they don't have to sell them for
Mm-hmm.
people to remember them, because probably most people have those games in their collections, in their backlog somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a good thing for Sony to that was in the past. I know we know a lot of people love these games, but I think it's a brighter future for Sony. And I think that's a problem with Microsoft, where they think that people will buy their console because of backwards compatibility, when I don't think that should be a selling point for next-gen consoles.
Mm-hmm. And do you think that PS5 announcement is going to happen soon in 2019?
Maybe not 2019, maybe 2020.
Mm-hmm. And do you think the announcement will, if we say 2020, you think that system will come out that same year? Because I think they did that with the PS4. They announced
Like,
it with February, and then
yeah,
it came out in November.
I would assume that they would do the same thing. Like they would announce it probably like January, February at a conference, at like their own conference, and then it would come out in like November the same year.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, Marvel DC fan, what do you think about them dropping PS3 and Vita for PS Plus by 2019?
Honestly, it doesn't really bother me that much because, well, usually when I'm grabbing PS Plus games, I'm mostly focusing on PS4 because that's what I own at the moment, and yeah, like, so that doesn't bother me. And I mean, if this is for relating to the announcement of PS5, I mean, I would think it's on the horizon, and maybe they'll do the same thing they did for the PS4. But uh, yeah, but that's just a maybe in my head. So.
Yeah, I got you. What about you, Talati? What do you think about them dropping PS3 and PS Vita off of the PS Plus by 2019? And do you think that kind of correlates to a possible PS5 announcement later on?
Well, for them to drop off PS Plus on the PS3 and Vita, I think it's about damn time they've done that. They should have done that at least a year ago, in my opinion. And for them to announce a PS5, they'll probably just tease us at E3 this year. Probably not 100% guaranteed on that. And just give us a slight telling of, oh, we got something, but we can't say. And then by PSX at the end of this year, maybe, just maybe, we'll just get a little bit more information on the PS5. And then by next E3, we'll have the full detail of everything that we want for PS5 in terms of price, how to do with the PS4 and everything. But in terms of them, announcing that and everything, I think it's for the PS5. We'll probably get the full information by 2019. I don't believe it'll be 2020 because I think it's a bit too soon. And the PlayStation 4 has been out already for 5 years. So if you can remember, I mean, when PlayStation 4 originally came out was in 2013. So it's been 5 years. So I think a life cycle for the next console should be another 5 years. So I think with PlayStation right now, they probably are gearing up for the next console.
All right. So now we're gonna still keep on the gaming topic. We got two more gaming topics. One was also something we were supposed to talk about last episode, but I completely forgot. This is regarding EA. EA, we've been hearing some rumblings about EA potentially losing the license for Star Wars games, and Disney looking to take away the license and give it to another company. And this is kind of the result of Star Wars Battlefront 2, with the microtransactions having a negative effect on Disney because they don't want to be associated with loot crates, gambling, and etc. And we heard that Disney also wanted more Star Wars games. And since the deal, it's been, 5 years or something? Or maybe 6? I forgot when they announced the license. I think it was in 2013. And there's only been 2 Star Wars games and a canceled Star Wars video game. And it's not looking too good. And as a result, and these are rumblings, rumors, but I feel like they have a little bit of a merit to them due to EA. They've been thinking about giving it to Activision or Ubisoft. And for me, if this were true and they were looking to give it to one or the other, I personally would just give it to Ubisoft because they just have a better track record than Activision does. And Activision just doesn't have as many studios as they used to. Like they used to have THQ, Neversoft, all these studios, and they just can them. So for me, I just think, they just shouldn't deal with that. and just give it to Ubisoft. They know how to make good games. You see that with Origins and many other games that they've made, and I think that's just the best option. I would say, oh, give it to Sony. Sony would do a great job with their first party. Yes, but then the whole thing is then it would be exclusive, and Disney doesn't want it to make it exclusive, which makes sense. See, that's the problem. It's like there's no real good publisher to give it to them. I think the best strategy is how Marvel is doing it, where they're just handing the license to developers to make those games. That's what I think is the best sound strategy. And I think Marvel giving, Spider-Man to Insomniac and Sony, and giving Avengers to Square Enix, and the rumored Guardians of the Galaxy to Square Enix as well. That makes sense to me. That's just better. Whereas giving it to one publisher, it's not going to have that great, or that level of greatness it could have if they were to do it like Marvel did. But those are my thoughts on Disney potentially giving it to Activision and Ubisoft. And I just go with Ubisoft, but that's just me. Inspector, what do you think about the rumblings about EA potentially losing the license for the Star Wars video game, and Disney possibly giving it to Activision or Ubisoft? Or would you like a different approach for them to make Star Wars licensed games?
I think it would be interesting knowing that EA has been making Star Wars games since the 90s. I think it would be smart for them probably to stay away from the big corporate companies, because I don't think going to Activision would be different from just staying at EA, because Activision has the same business practices as EA. Mm-hmm. Same thing. Kind of like Ubisoft is kind of different, but the thing is with Ubisoft and Activision and those, they already have established franchises that make them a bunch of money. Ubisoft has Splinter Cell and Assassin's Creed. Activision has Call of Duty, so they don't need another. And they have Activision. They have Call of Duty and Destiny, so they don't really need another big franchise. And yeah. So I don't think they would, as you said, I don't think they would want to license it out to Sony, because that would mean it would be first party and not
multi-platform. They wouldn't be making
platform. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think what you said would be smart, where they just license it out to different developers, like with Square Enix or IDOS or some other company.
Yeah. Exactly. What about you, Marvel DC fan? What do you think about EA potentially losing the license for Star Wars, it going to Ubisoft or Activision, or an alternative method you would do if you were in Disney's shoes?
Well, I'm not surprised that they'd want to, back out of their partnership, because after that whole fiasco with what happened with Battlefront 2, I'd probably want to stop making games with them. If I had to pick another, company to hand the license to, I'm pretty sure that I would say that Ubisoft would probably be my best bet, because Activision, they just have a horrible, track record when it comes to, licensed games and that kind of thing. So if I had to choose, then I would put it in Ubisoft's hands.
Mm-hmm. All right. What about you, Taladia? What do you think about the rumblings, and what method would you do if you were in Disney's shoes? Would you just give it to Ubisoft or Activision, or hand it out to different developers?
If I was Disney right now, I would definitely think about giving it to either to Sony, or to give it to a brand new company that's got a reputation for their games. someone, if we have a good example of really good look at some really decent games in the past, I would say no. I wouldn't say Activision, nope, because they're the type of company that would just use the game for microtransactions, and I know what people were like when microtransactions and all that with EA. So I think as as a consumer for the Star Wars games, I would possibly I would like to see Disney give the what's it called, Star Wars name and license to Ubisoft. But I think personally, though, it should be given to a small developer, I should say, that has got a fair amount in dealing with the AAA games.
My thing is, like, I would agree with you, but like when you have a small indie developer, they're not gonna produce a lot of games, right?
Yeah,
It's gonna take a long time for them to produce games,
but at
3
the
to
same,
4 years. Whereas, if they give it to Ubisoft, they could produce that in like 2 to 3 years every year, or even every year a Star Wars game comes out. Whereas
it's
you could
just
think
that,
about giving it to different developers across the globe.
you see, the thing is with yeah, because you see, the thing is with Disney right now, they've got to think about um what what can they do to really sell off Star Wars. What other developers can actually do the job, because EA obviously didn't do the right thing, because even though there hasn't been any content coming from them, they said, oh yeah, there'll be content every month, free content for a year. They haven't done anything about it, and we've only had like what, two content in the space of 5 months, and which is terrible.
Which was just December, right? Like the
Yeah,
expansion for like
the Last Jedi DLC.
campaign.
No, the Last Jedi DLC, which was the extension pack, and the two heroes, the villain and what's it called, Captain Phasma and Finn. But we haven't got anything else. I know there was some some unlockable skins or something, like the episode 4 for Luke, and sorry, episode 5 for Luke when he goes to Hoth, the alternative skins. But that was it. We haven't got anything else, and I feel as if EA have really let us down in terms of that, and the right should be given to somebody else, definitely, for the next Battlefront game, or even next what's it called, lightsaber game, which I think would be really cool.
Okay. All right. So we're out of this one, right? Now we got Metal Gear Survive. We got more news. We got like 2 of them. And we're going to quickly talk about it. Metal Gear Survive. It's like, a day in gaming where save slots were free. Not anymore with Metal Gear Survive. You get one, and I'll keep saying this is one save slot, and it's just a mess. It's like you get one save slot, and there's 3 additional save slots, but they could only be unlocked by paying $10, and to get more loadouts costs also extra money. It's like, I don't know. I don't know what Konami's doing. And it doesn't help matters where they give the copies to the critics, right? Early. But they damn well know that the game is required for an internet connection. And they don't turn on the servers until the day it comes out. Which, how does that help? Oh, because they don't want the bad word press to get out for the game. And this game didn't even it like charted number 6 in the UK for that week it came out, which is pretty bad for a Metal Gear game, to say the least, because Metal Gears has always charted like number 1, and this is also not a great month in general for games, and you're getting outsold by GTA, a game that has been out for many years, and it just still beats you. And the players on Steam, it's not even that great too. It's very low, and I think it's funny to me that they went this route, that they wanted to be greedy, and it didn't work out for them. And I'm glad that this game got ripped. Before we're like, oh, did it? Was it being treated unfairly? No, I don't think it was being treated unfairly. I think that it was justified because you get these microtransactions. A save slot should be given. I play a game like The Witcher. I get a bunch of save slots for free. And all these other games, Monster Hunter, Bayonetta, other games like that, Kingdom Hearts, all these games don't require you want to save on another save slot? $10, please. That's just insane. Like they haven't even apologized to the consumers and said, "Oh, we're sorry. We shouldn't have done that. We'll compensate you." No, they haven't even addressed it. They just have let it out there. I don't know what they're going to do with this license. Konami, as a publisher, has been ruining their franchises. They ruined Bomberman. They ruined Castlevania, and they've ruined Metal Gear. The only game that they have going for them is PES, and guess what? They're ruining Metal Gear as well, and they put Metal Gear on pachinko machines, gambling machines that shouldn't have been on there. And Konami, to me, as a gaming company, is dead. They're shell of their former self. They don't give a shit what they're doing. I don't even know why they're in the gaming landscape now, because they used to be amazing publishers, amazing publisher, and now they just don't give a shit. They all they see is money. They need to exploit everything that they own so they can get the most out of their consumers. And to me, this isn't good. This is like microtransactions on a whole nother level. And I think that people need to not buy this game and fight with their wallet and not buy it. And this is a shame. I'm a big Metal Gear fan. I love Kojima's work. And seeing this and seeing the series he's created go down the drain because Konami just are idiots, to say the least. But Inspector, what do you think about Metal Gear Survive, the microtransactions, going on a whole nother level of paying $10 of a save slot?
Yeah, that's so stupid. Like for a save slot, which usually when you buy a game, you have at least 4 to 5 save slots, and you're buying how much does Metal Gear Survive cost up front?
$40.
Okay, so even
and
then,
and they also limit the loadouts for your guns and stuff. So if you want more loadouts, you pay extra.
So this is basically like Evolve.
Yeah, basically, or a more extreme case of Evolve, I would say.
Yeah, because Evolve was really bad with microtransactions.
Mm-hmm.
Evolve was a complete bare bones game. I didn't play it, but I heard really bad things about it. And this is just stupid. And Konami is just asked. The thing about Konami is that after Kojima left, I think they're now in dire straits where they're like, okay, we need to do something with Metal Gear, but we don't have the vision of Kojima because we totally messed up his conclusion, totally messed up Metal Gear 5 because we took out an entire act of the game and we left that game unfinished because we wanted to get it out. And now we're doing this game that you have to pay $10 for a save slot, which is stupid. So I think people I wouldn't say boycott the game because boycotts don't do anything, but just as you said, just vote with your wallet and don't buy the game.
Yep. Yeah, and this is it kind of shows that people aren't interested in a generic zombie game that has the stamp of a Metal Gear logo. Yeah. And I don't know, maybe they thought, oh shit, zombie games are popular, let's put Metal Gear on it. And that's not going to work. I knew, initially people were like, what the fuck? Why is this a Metal? Why is this Metal Gear? This should have nothing to do with Metal Gear. And Konami. Granted, Konami is a fucking wealthy company. Like, they make gambling machines in Japan, and so I think also like laundry machines, I believe, and they make a killing off of it. And they want to go into mobile gaming as well, and they're kind of leaving console gaming, besides PES, like that soccer game. And now Metal Gear is just, I, I think Konami just needs to sell that license. They just don't deserve it. And there's so many unique stories to be told in that universe, and they're just shitting on it. And I just want to know Kojima's thoughts on the microtransactions in this universe he's created. And I really would like to know how he feels. I know he's probably like, what the fuck? Like, I'm pissed that this is happening to something I created. And they've ruined it. They've ruined Castlevania, and I'll say it again, they ruined Bomberman. And all these IPs that they had. And they don't give a shit. Marvel DC fan, what do you think about Metal Gear Survives? Save slot loadouts being paid for, and not and microtransactions are just worse. They're on a whole nother level.
Oh my god. I'm at a state with Konami now where I'm both angry and disappointed at the same time, because what happened to Kojima, that was one thing, and that was a really sad turnout. But like this, what they're doing with the Metal Gear series, what they did with Silent Hill and Castlevania, where they're just throwing out these asinine ideas and having people charge money for a save slot and loadouts and stuff. Like, what if I want to play the game again? I'm not paying $10 just to get another save slot. That's just retarded in my eyes. So yeah, I think the best thing that they can do with this franchise is probably sell it off, leave it alone, which of course, I think we were talking about this last time. As much as I would love to give it to Kojima to kind of finish it off, and like, he's probably done with it, so have Sony take over, because they know developers that have that kind of vision Kojima does. Because I love this series and I don't want it to be run into the ground. So.
Exactly. Yeah, I wouldn't mind if Sony buys the license. I would love to see like what Naughty Dog would do with it, and those like stories that they could, because they make amazing stories, and that would be great to see. Now, Talati, what do you think about the microtransactions affecting Metal Gear Survive? That save slot, $10 for an extra save slot.
It's BS. It's just BS, straight up. Konami has let down too many fans. After Hideo Kojima left, he went downhill. And you talking about Pro Evolution Soccer, it's the same thing. With that game, it's downhill. After like 10, 15 years, like, it's been gone down really downhill. And it's like I was like telling my friends this, like real life friends, and I was like telling them, dude, FIFA looks a little bit more better than Konami's Pro Evolution Soccer, because they try and compete up with everything and they fail. But in terms of Metal Gear Solid, they've disappointed their fans after Hideo Kojima left, and they're trying to buy their way into people's fans and get buy the fans back, and it's not working out for them. And I think it's gonna really affect them big time when it comes down to crunch numbers and that.
All right. So this is going to be the last gaming news, which is a bit shock. No one's seen it coming. And I kind of would like to see more gaming announcements like this. Not gonna lie, Nintendo Switch gained another cool, interesting game, and yeah, it came out like I believe like yesterday or a day ago. It's like it was posted on Facebook and legit on the eShop the time that post came. It's like, yeah, Outlast the Terror Collection is out on the Nintendo Switch, and they went Red Barrel went silent after that because I think they're making like Outlast 3. But that's crazy that Nintendo got another game with Outlast. They're getting support with indie developers and the third party, and it's coming, man. It's coming. We're seeing those games trickling down, and yeah, I'm thinking about getting Outlast and the DLC collection for the original game and playing it on my Switch portably on the go. Horror, which is crazy on a handheld. I never experienced that, so it's gonna be an interesting thing to experience. But guys, what do you think about Nintendo getting Outlast and having this surprise announcement? We'll start off with Inspector.
I mean, I never really got into Outlast, so I don't really have a full opinion on it. But I guess it's good for Nintendo that they add another franchise. But I don't know if Outlast is a good game to market for the Switch.
I mean, it came out the day of. There was like no marketing. It was like pew right there on the
I know,
eShop.
but like, it's weird because like you wouldn't like connect an M-rated horror survival horror game with Nintendo. So I don't know if that's a great game to like have on the Switch, because I don't think a lot of people would buy it on the Switch. That's kind of like the same thing when they had when they were pushing the Wii U, and they had that zombie game for the Wii U.
Well, that game was trash, though.
I know.
Yeah, I know what you're trying to say, though. Yeah,
because
they ported that game over to Steam and even was it PS4 and Xbox One? Yeah, they ported those games over. That game stole shit on both PS4 and Xbox One. So I will probably be getting it. I don't know how that experience for me is gonna be. Would I drop my Switch on the ground or shit? Like, I don't know. If I'm playing it portably, of course. That'll be a very interesting way of playing a horror game. Never imagined playing a horror game handheld. What do you think, Marvel DC fan?
I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat where, I'm not really a big Outlast player, but yeah, that's generally like a shock to hear that for, this M-rated horror game be released on, the Switch, which is more of a general audience kind of thing and kind of console. So yeah,
I know the reports. Like I think they even said they wanted more rated M games on the Switch. Like you got Bayonetta, both those games, rated M, LA Noire rated M, and now you got Outlast rated M, and of course, I forgot Shin Megami. That game's going to be rated M, of course. All the Shin Megami games are rated M. I think they just want to be a system like PlayStation is, where it's portably, of course. So they don't want to associate themselves like they were like in the Wii U and Wii generation, where it's kid. You know what I mean? It just didn't work well for them. But now, I guess with the numbers that they've been doing, those rated M developers are just like, wow, let's put our game on the Switch. And Nintendo's like, yeah, that's fine. Which is crazy. But what about you? What do you think, Toddy? What do you think about that surprise announcement the day of it being announced, coming out on Switch? And you think some more games should come out like that? And
well, firstly, that's a surprise because I didn't expect, I didn't expect what's it called, The Last of Us to be portable, I thought it'd just stick to console because that's the type of thing that horror games normally do. It would be on console or PC. But for the game now to be portable, it's a good move, very good move. But in terms of more games coming out, time will only tell. Time will only tell if we're gonna get like, as an example, Injustice 2, big fighting game that would definitely work on portable, or even some retro games like Uncharted series. That would be awesome as well to have on a Nintendo Switch.
Well, you mean like Tomb Raider, right? Because
Yeah.
Uncharted and can never be on the Switch.
Can never be. Well,
Yeah.
Because Sony owns Uncharted
Oh.
last.
Sony owns the license.
so then
Because that's their first party studios making those
Yeah,
games.
so Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider. Sorry, Tomb Raider. Then
Gotcha.
that would have been awesome. It'd be awesome if they had Tomb Raider on it, and it's not solely connected to one console. Then it'll be spread across multiple platforms.
And it's interesting. Everyone's like, yo, why are you buying these games that you technically already have? And on the Switch, it's like, yeah, I just like the portable aspect. That's why I got Skyrim on the Switch. Like,
the people don't realize with the Switch is the experience of playing a horror game for the first time portably and not as just a solo console thing.
No.
They don't realize that, and it's the same like with me. Like I had the Game Boy Color back in the day, and playing that compared to console, it was like really different. And I was like telling my friends all the time that look, portable games are very fun to take with you anywhere you want to go. I mean, if I would definitely, if I had the money, I would definitely buy a Switch, but I can't get it. But I think indeed it's a very good move though for The Last of Us to be on Nintendo Switch. There just needs to be more games for Nintendo Switch to have more first party and more third party games. Like that would definitely make sense.
Yeah, exactly. Outlast gonna be a great experience. I'll be getting that maybe tonight. I'll buy Outlast maybe tonight.
You're gonna get Outlast.
Yeah, Outlast on the Switch. And
don't pre yourself.
No, I played it like 2 or 3 times.
Nah, but seriously, right? I know that game's very scary.
It is. I remember buying it first, and it was like, oh shit! Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
I heard Outlast 2 isn't as scary though. It was just kind of rip on that. We got one last gaming news. I don't know how many people have played this franchise. This hits home with me because this game is amazing. And what I mean by amazing is I just can't wait. I'm playing it currently, Kingdom Hearts 1.5, 2.5 remix, and the D23 trailer came out, and we haven't talked about it, and I quickly want to talk about it. I fucking loved everything I saw. Kingdom Hearts. Also, I want to say Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to have a more mature story, even though if you're a kid playing Kingdom Hearts, like I would not expect you to understand the storyline for Kingdom Hearts because it's super complicated. Like Metal Gear Solid complicated. So I don't blame anybody be like, oh, I have no idea what I'm playing right now. I can't really follow the story because it's not like a Disney storyline. Like I feel deeper story, more mature, even though Kingdom Hearts 3 is supposed to have an even more mature storyline. Because, dude, people in Kingdom Hearts, they die. They straight up die. So it's like, I still can't wrap my head around that always. I quickly want to say, they showed off a new world, Monster Inc., which is cool and seeing as far as like a monster and all that, and Ariel as a summon. We've seen her in Kingdom Hearts 1. I don't remember if she's in any of the spin-offs or Kingdom Hearts 2. I'm replaying Kingdom Hearts 1. But the trailer is good. It's like Toy Story, dude. It looks straight up like Toy Story movie. I'm not gonna lie. and it looks awesome. It looks fun, and it's very interesting that Birth by Sleep is going to have a very pivotal point for the Kingdom Hearts 3 game because of in Kingdom Hearts 3 we have Vanitas or Ventius, who's like the guy with the black helmet, go up to Sora, and Sora says Ventius' name. Sora doesn't know who Ventius is, but the person inside his heart does, and that's Ventus. Ventus has a nobody who is Ventius. Ventius looks like Sora, and it's very complicated, right? Like even talking about it, it's because of like Ventus and his heart's messed up, and he had to be in Sora's heart to fix his heart. But Ventius looks like Sora because Ventus is in the heart of Sora, and that's why Roxas looks like Ventus because that's Sora's nobody, and Ventus lies in Sora's heart. To
Red Hood, you're already confusing me.
Yeah, exactly, right. It's like a super complicated story. Like I kid you not, dude. Like you would think, like, oh no, Kingdom Hearts is such a kid's game. It's very like, I don't know how you say simple story. It's not, dude. It's hella not. Like
it is.
It's
is
very
super complicated.
But no, it's a great storyline. But like, you're in for a ride if you think it's simple in terms of understanding everything. But no, gameplay looks awesome. Graphics look amazing. It's supposed to come out this year. Rumors are it's good. Their announcement date will be announced during E3, which maybe kind of says that Square Enix may have a press conference like in 2015 of for their E3. So it would be awesome. But overall, I can't wait. Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to be awesome, and I would assume Inspector, you haven't played it, but
I've never played Kingdom Hearts.
But did that whole explanation sound pretty damn confusing and complicated?
I think it's hard to follow the DC continuity timeline. Like that's a whole different animal.
Yeah, dude, it's like very like complex. Like you just don't understand, dude.
I don't understand.
Yeah, because Kingdom Hearts, I think Kingdom Hearts 1 has the most simple storyline out of all of them. But after Kingdom Hearts 1, it gets way complicated. Like, good word. And there's not many games besides like the spin-off on the PSP, DS, and Kingdom Hearts 2. Yeah, it's crazy. I guess we'll go with Marvel DC fan. Well, I don't know if you've seen the trailer.
I did.
I guess what other worlds, besides your impression on the trailer, what other worlds would you like to see in Kingdom Hearts? And do you think that Marvel Heroes and Star Wars may make an appearance? I know the director always wanted to do Star Wars back in like Kingdom Hearts 1 or 2, but now Disney owning Star Wars, you think that's a possibility as well, along with your impressions on the trailer and stuff.
Just to get that out of the way first, I mean, as much as I would love to see the Marvel Universe and Star Wars kind of mix in with Kingdom Hearts and all that, I feel that it would work better if, Kingdom Hearts just sticked to main Disney properties. As much as it's a possibility, but I think that's more where they should kind of stay rather than, mixed in with Star Wars and, the Marvel Universe and that kind of thing. So, and the trailer itself, I mean, I'm getting really excited to jump back into Kingdom Hearts. I played them a long time ago, and I haven't touched them since, but I'm planning on getting the 1.5 plus 2.5 compilation pack, so I get to replay them all again and follow through with the story, as confusing as it is. So, I mean, I'm excited for Kingdom Hearts. I'm glad it's coming back to it. I'm glad we're finally getting number 3 after
many
about
years.
yeah, like what, 10 years or a
Something
little
like
bit more
that.
than that?
Yeah, main
Yeah.
entry Kingdom Hearts
Yeah.
for a long time, not including
Yeah.
the spin-offs, which are still a big integral part of the storyline.
Yeah,
Even
like
though
literally
spin-offs
every
are.
spin-off has a place somewhere, and just
Oh, yeah. Like
it's
Birth by Sleep is
confusing
a
mess.
big part for Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah.
Because if you haven't played Birth by Sleep, you won't understand like who the guy in the black helmet and black getup is. It's like, yeah, you gotta play Birth by Sleep, which I believe is included with 1.5 and 2.5
I
remake.
believe so, yes.
So, and also the DS games, I believe, I don't know if they're in 2.8. I have no idea about 2.8. I'm gonna get it, but I have no idea what that is. I would assume maybe a couple games or like a demo. I think it was a demo or something like that. But I believe the game for 358 over 2 days or something like that.
Oh,
That
358 days
yeah,
over
that
two.
they couldn't port over because it was a DS game. So I
Yeah.
think it's all cinematics. So
Yeah,
And
it's
also,
just
that's
cinematics.
also a really bad name for a game.
oh yeah,
358 days over
Yeah.
2.
yeah.
Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah, I don't know why. That was a DS game, so I was like, oh, let's make it that title.
Mhm.
And I was like, all right. Taladia, what do you think about? I don't know if you've seen the trailer, but if you haven't seen
That's
the
all
trailer,
right.
what you've seen it?
hmm
Okay, give me your impressions on it, and also what other Disney worlds would you like to see? Like maybe Marvel, Frozen, Star Wars, Wreck-It Ralph, or something like that. I don't know.
I saw the trailer and I was thinking it's a really good trailer. They included the likes of Monster Incorporated, Toy Story, and all of that. But I would love to see them bring Star Wars involved into it because it would definitely be appealing for fans. And I wish there was an English dub for it though, because in the trailer obviously everything is in Japanese.
Yeah, I know in the when the game comes out and once it's closer to launch, they'll have English trailers, and all Kingdom Hearts games are also English voice acting as well.
Mm.
No,
It's
because
just
it's a bit weird. Like when they launched
yeah.
when they did the launch trailer, it was like oh yeah, I'm going to we're gonna say this, and you couldn't understand a single word. You had to put subtitles on.
Yeah.
So I was like,
That's the thing with all
okay.
Japanese games.
I was like, no, but it was me. I was like, okay. So I think though once the game comes out, I think it'd be a really cool game. They just need to add more content to that though. Obviously, a little bit more stuff in trailer 2 and that. Maybe some Disney characters from the past. Bring that in, like Wreck-It Ralph or even the likes of Finding Nemo or something like that. It would be really cool to be involved.
Oh yeah, because I know like some of those screenshots they have like Hercules World, Tangled's one of them.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see that. But just for me though, because I don't have never played what's it called Kingdom Hearts.
Oh yeah, you're 360. 360 never not 360. Xbox
Yes.
One, because it's coming out for Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out for PS4 and Xbox One.
Yeah.
The thing is, none of the remixes have come out to Xbox One at all. It's just been PS4.
And that's the problem, you see.
So it's like hard for you to get. You would have to just go on YouTube
and just look it up.
Look up all the cutscenes and stuff. I know people have done
That's
that.
why I think for me though, it's too much of a hassle, man. I just said, forget it. I'm not spending that much money just to buy a game that I haven't played the prequel for, and the might as well just save the money and buy something else. But nevertheless, I know that for PS4, PS4 guys, they will enjoy that game if they played the previous games. They will have a blast on it, and I assure you on this, that the graphics on that, when it comes down to release, will be 10 times as better as it is in the trailer that we got
Oh yeah, like if you look at like the early launch trailers, like Sora looks super plasticky. Like his face looked weird, but now
Yeah.
like it looks normal. Because if you do like the graphic comparison, like the graphics improved a lot, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. I'm almost done with Kingdom Hearts 1 remix, so I just can't wait and finish that stuff, and then maybe get 2.8. That is it for.
There
Oh,
is
what?
there is
Okay.
one other news we can talk about though,
Okay.
and that is the announcement that Injustice 2 Legendary Edition has been announced for the 30th of March, guys. And me personally on this, we did talk about it before the stream. It's just ridiculous the way they're doing it. Obviously, it's going to include all the DLC, and you'll get this new thing called Learning Herb as well. So that's also going to be included, and on top of that, they're saying as well that we're going to be getting additional 10 more levels after level 20. So once, obviously, that would be pretty cool, and there's going to be more gear and stuff. And to me, though, I think as a whole, Injustice 2 Legendary gear, I think some people will buy it, some people won't. But they should have just made one game, like a standard, what's it called, Ultimate Edition, which features all three, all the DLC and that, which you get with 5-pack 1, 2, and 3, and just done the Legendary Edition as the game of the year, and that should have been just the 2 games instead of it being 4 different 4 different package of the game of the same game, if you know what I mean. So that's me though. Marvel DC fan, what do you think of the announcement of the Legendary Edition of Injustice 2? The announcement.
Honestly, I really don't care because I mean I already have all the content on my system, so I don't think I really need to go out and get this.
Do you think that people would buy it, or?
Well, yeah, obviously. Like, if people didn't jump into Injustice 2, last year, then I would assume that, with this Legendary Edition, that it's probably a good jumping off point again for the people that didn't want to buy all the DLC and stuff. So.
And all the new gear and all of that as well, the level 30.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's worth what's it called, NetherRealm actually doing that? Or do you think they should have decided as a patch instead?
It should have just been a patch.
Should have been a patch, okay.
Yeah, so I think that's all of that because we already talked about that.
Yeah.
Before the stream. So Red Hood, we can move on.
All right, so we got a couple movie news. Quickly, I guess we'll quickly talk about like Black Panther. I don't know, it's doing numbers again. It's still doing numbers. Dropped off 46% second week. Don't quote me on that. I think that's what it is.
I think it was 46. I'm gonna look at Box Office Mojo.
Which
you can keep going while I'm looking.
Okay, which is crazy. It's doing numbers. I was gonna watch it, I think, with my family the second time. It was sold out. I was like, wow. I was like, well, rip to that, because my mom wanted to go in the morning because $5 tickets, right? So
yeah, basically 45%.
Oh, 45. Okay. Which is, it's crazy. It's and what was it? Second week, like 100 mil.
Yeah, it's like 112.
I think so. Which is crazy. It's doing great domestically, which it has legs like Wonder Woman.
Yeah, 111.5.
Which
second weekend.
Which is crazy because usually what superhero movies tend to have the 50 to 60% drop off.
Yeah, and it's the same drop off that Wonder Woman had.
Mm-hmm.
So, because Wonder Woman had like a 45% drop second weekend.
Yeah, which is crazy. It's like it's gonna have legs, and it's crazy. I don't know. It's like we never seen this happen with a movie making this much money. Just a solo movie, of course, like a solo superhero movie, and talks of a possible $1 billion being made for the film. Like, that's crazy because I don't think we'll ever have another movie top that, I guess, if it ever reaches that threshold. We never know. It's always a possibility, though. But if it were to, it's going to be crazy because it's beating out like Iron Man, Captain America, all these like superhero movies. And I don't see it ever happening. I don't see like, I don't know, like, see like a Spider-Man Homecoming 2. I don't see that cracking a billion. I just don't. I think a lot of reason why it did so well is because, well, A, it was a good movie. B, it just had good word of press, good advertisements, and it reached out to everyone, I guess. And that's what happened. Same thing with Wonder Woman. But yeah, I mean, I congratulate it. Ryan Coogler did an awesome job, and we're gonna quickly talk about the first person that got offered the job. We'll be talking about that later. I think her name was Ava. Ava or something like that.
Ava did.
Yeah, we'll talk about something about her movie and not so good stuff. But yeah, no, it's great. Black Panther's going to do well, and we'll continue to see what records it keeps breaking. Inspector, what do you think about this stuff?
I think it's great. Like, it shows that Black Panther is reaching a mass audience, and I'm pretty sure that, like, even though like most Marvel movies is a 4-quadrant movie, which means that it appeals to both males and females above and below 25. But I think the main audience is, like Wonder Woman, like the majority of the audience is probably African Americans, which is great because it's basically the representation for them, just like Wonder Woman was a representation for women.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why like both of these films are cultural touchstones, because they speak to like different groups of different demographics of people. And yeah, I'm happy. I think it's up to like 750 worldwide in 2 weeks, which is crazy. At this point, I think if it doesn't reach $1 billion, it's going to get close. Because the last Marvel movie to reach $1 billion was Iron Man 3, and I don't know how that reached $1 billion because that was a mediocre movie. But I think it has a chance of reaching $1 billion. I would be happy if it reaches $1 billion. But but the one thing I hate is like there's these people that are not comparing Wonder Woman and Black Panther to they're like putting them against each other for some reason. Like there's these bloggers and people that are like unnecessarily like creating beef between the movies when there's none. So like I don't get that. But
I don't get it either. I've been on like several movie channels, comic book movie YouTube channels and movie channels, and I don't know. I don't like the toxicity between both fan bases. It gets ridiculous. Like I like Phil Drucker, right? I think he's a chill dude, but like his fan base is
yeah,
not directly for, like, he's a great person and he's awesome.
yeah,
And I think he speaks the truth.
Yeah,
but his fan base is either Marvel or DC.
Yeah,
And they spew so much hate between each other. It's like DC extremists will be like, go watch your shitty Black Panther movie, and then Marvels are like, go watch your shitty Justice League movie. It's like, why don't you guys just enjoy good movies? Like for me, it's like this, right? And this is a quick tangent is stop fanboying or being extremists for corporations that don't care about you, right?
Yeah.
They don't.
And that's the same thing about, like, sorry to interrupt you, Red Hood.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you finish. But I think I also like Phil Junkie. I think he's a chill guy. And I think that this whole Marvel versus DC debate is taking out of hand, especially with the Zack Snyder shills, and it's even worse with the Zack Snyder shills because the Zack Snyder shills aren't just attacking Marvel; they're attacking DC too. Like they're attacking Jeff Johns for no reason because of what they quote unquote think he did to Justice League when he probably did none of those things.
Yeah.
Like I got to an argument with some of them, and they're just there's like no phasing them. They're so there are some like Zack Snyder fans that are cool, like Shiraz and the people at Comic Book Debate. They're cool people, but there are just some people that just go way too far with their devotion to Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
And it's to a point where it's like it's an obsession. Just calm down. Like I get you love his movies, but you don't have to demote other movies to put him up on a pedestal. But like I'm saying this as a Zack Snyder fan, but I'm just like not that hardcore.
Yeah. It's like you could be a fan and that's great, but you be an extremist and throwing like insults at one another and saying like, "Oh, this movie is terrible. Go watch that terrible movie," and your movie is terrible as well. It's like enjoy good movies. That's why I even tell people like, you guys need to stop acting like corporate fanboys and enjoy good movies, and that's all. And no one addresses me. They just keep going on the tangent of arguing with one another, and they never said, "Oh, you make a good point, man." I'm like, yeah, I do. I'm the sane one here.
Yeah, there's no coming to a middle ground with those.
Oh yeah, it's just like, yeah, Wonder Woman's great, Black Panther's great. Don't understand why any of you guys hate. It's just I don't understand.
We can love both. We don't need to choose sides.
Exactly. All right, Marvel DC fan, what do you think about the box office numbers for
Honestly,
Black Panther?
it's fantastic, and this is something like for a character like Black Panther. I never would have expected for this to reach the amount of the box office that it did, and to appeal more to a wider audience rather than just one kind of demographic. Like, it's obvious that it tries to appeal to African American, that kind of ethnicity, and that's really awesome. And it is basically what Wonder Woman did for women. Try to have that character, that kind of gateway to a character. So that's great. And if I can throw my 2 cents in on the whole fanboy debate stuff like that, like, I enjoy what Marvel's doing, and I have enjoyed what DC's doing overall, but it's just there's no need for this. Like, enjoy the movies for what they are, and you don't need to fight about it. Like, if you really want to blame somebody, like for the DC half, like if you really want to blame anyone for what happened to those movies, I mean, you go straight to Warner Brothers, because they decided to poke their heads where they shouldn't have, and as a result, what Justice League turned out, and Suicide Squad, and Batman v Superman, stuff like that like just needs to stop. And so I don't think there needs to be beef between Black Panther or Wonder Woman, that kind of thing. Just enjoy the movie for what it is and just leave it alone. It's simple as it is. So.
Yeah, Taladia, what do you think about the box office numbers for Black Panther?
I think it's great. Because obviously I saw on the internet that it beat Wonder Woman in terms of box office, and I thought it was really, really good. Especially being that it's the first Marvel, what's it called? Not first Marvel. It's first African American movie. Well, African American movie that that has done well. and they're obviously
He means superhero-led African American
yeah.
movie.
Yeah, I thought I'd just throw
I
that
mean,
out
minus Blade, which did well, but in a totally different context.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's totally different context. Yeah, so if you just think about it like that, it's like it did really well. But and I think for future movies coming from Black Panther, I think there's a big high chance now.
Just so you know, the total box office now at this current day is 748 million worldwide,
Wow.
and it's made
Wow.
421, basically 422 million domestic.
So that's
that's
still
crazy.
that's pretty good, and I think it might be a sequel.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be a sequel. And at this rate, not that like, I think when it's by the end of its run, I think it has a high chance of getting a billion. Yeah, knowing that it's made almost 750 million in 2.5 weeks, I think it's pretty. Yeah, I think it's set to make a billion.
Yeah, but that's just me though um in terms of Black Panther though. I mean, it's great coming from the box office and that, and the reception it got as well. It was really good reception. So but we just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we're gonna quickly talk about. I would assume all of you guys have seen the Shazam costume, right?
Yep, I've seen it.
Yes.
I've seen it.
Okay, so I don't know. It's it's gotten like slightly mixed, just like Captain Marvel did, and it's like I don't know. I was never iffy on either one of them, to be honest, but that's just me. I mean, I think it was good. I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say. It's like we just got the backside.
Like
Yeah, we just basically what we
we
got.
just got the backside, but
Yeah.
I got a little bit of a rant
Okay.
on this. It's not the costume itself, because I think like you can't really judge the costume just based on the back. I mean, you just see the cape. The cape looks fine, but like my problem is there's this little sect of fans that are really hardcore about Shazam / Captain Marvel, and they're one of the most annoying like comic book like sects of a fan base, because they're so adamant in saying the new 52 version sucks and the classic version is better, and there's no other version that I want in the movie except for the classic version. But they have to understand that most people got into Shazam because of the new 52, so you can't really have your cake and eat it too. Like, of course, it's going to be based off the new 52, because that's the most recent like version, and it's a popular version of the character. Like, it also depends on like how he's characterized in the movie. But like to me, like, the costume looks fine. The hood doesn't bother me as long as he doesn't wear it. But if he doesn't wear it, then what's the use of the hood if he doesn't wear it? But like, I just hate that fan base because they're so annoying, and like they think we're still in the 1980s when we're not. So I don't know. It's really annoying to me. But other than that, the costume, it looks fine. You can't really judge it fully from just the back.
True.
Yep.
Okay. What about you, Marvel DC fan? What do you think about the costume?
I thought, like, from what we saw of it, it was okay. even though it was the back, like, to me, it kind of felt like a blend of the classic and like the new 52 costumes kind of just merged. So I kind of got that feeling from that, but it might be just me. But I'm excited to see what the actual like the full costume will look like. So
Like, we need to see what the front looks like.
yeah, but
Exactly. What about you, Talati? What do you think?
Well, from that picture that we saw, it looked like they're going for the classic look anyway. And obviously, it's like there's slight minority of people are saying, "Oh, it looks tatty." They might just do CGI over it, over the with the costume design that they have. They might do that, a little bit of CGI. But it's just one photo, like I said, it's just one photo from behind, and it's like until there's a scene of a front of the costume, we can just base it off what we've seen, and it looks like it's just a classic design.
Yep. All right. So we got one last. Oh no, actually, we got two more, and then we're done. Sparrow. I think it's called Sparrow, right? It's the Jennifer Lawrence movie.
Red Sparrow.
Red Sparrow. IGN did a very clickbaity thing. They showed the score is in the thumbnail 2.5. I was like, huh. Is it that bad? And then I was reading the review, and they were like, well, this movie, it's very grotesque, very hard to eat popcorn and drink soda. It's not like, I think he was basically saying popcorn flick. I'm assuming.
I mean, like, this isn't really a popcorn flick.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, huh. So it's like, I don't know. It's very interesting seeing very common threads of this movie being brutal, this movie being very grotesque. And I'm doing like emphasis, air quotes and all that, and unbearable and hard to watch. Like, I'm super confused as to like this movie.
The same criticisms for Atomic Blonde when it came out?
I don't know. It's a good question. I have no idea because I don't think it had this much,
Like,
I guess negativity towards it.
I mean, the reviews overall have been mixed. They haven't been that negative.
Mm-hmm.
Like, on Rotten Tomatoes, I know you can't really follow Rotten Tomatoes, but on Rotten Tomatoes it's a 60%. So it's like middle of the road, I guess.
Yeah, but it was very interesting that IGN gave it a 2.5 out of 10. I was like, wow.
Yeah, that's weird. But they're IGN. Like, they're overly critical for no reason sometimes.
Yeah, and I was like that movie seemed a pretty damn serious movie to me. Like, and it's like Russian spies.
It looks like a Russian spy movie, but it features a female instead of a male.
Yeah, and it's like
2.5 out of 10. It's too Russian.
Oh my gosh. Too much
water.
Oh
my god.
Remember, no Russian.
No Russian. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
What can I say about this mix, or some reviewers saying this? I don't want to say they're babies, but I'm gonna have to see the film to judge it myself, to see if it's that awful. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it's doing this. I can't. No, this is wrong. Like, I have no idea. I'm gonna probably see it. I'm probably not gonna act like that. I'll judge it. I always judge films on just like the pacing, the story, the characters, all of that. I don't judge it on, oh my gosh, the scene is so messed up. Like, I don't know. It's very interesting seeing this. Like, what do you think, Inspector? Like, why? Like, why is this? Why are reviewers acting the way they are? I guess with this movie.
I think it's just like the conservative way, where there's like, oh, it's too brutal. but it's an R-rated movie, so most R-rated movies are brutal, so you can't really rest on that. And plus, it's a spy movie, and there was another spy movie, as I said, that came out last year that was said to be really brutal, Atomic Blonde.
Mm-hmm.
And like I'm seeing it not this weekend, but next weekend when I'm on vacation.
Alright.
And I mean, this movie was never really on my radar,
Yeah.
but like I mean, I wouldn't say I'm the biggest fan of Jennifer Lawrence. I think she's good in some roles, but I think she sometimes has problems emoting. She kind of
Yeah,
comes
yeah.
off as wooden sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes there's some movies that she does well. I thought she did well in American Hustle. I
Yeah,
thought that
like
was really good for
I
her.
I think she was good in the Hunger Games, but the problem with the Hunger Games movies is that she always sounded like she was gonna cry for some reason.
Yeah.
But I get like it's a really like stressful movie, but yeah, it was really weird. But like I'll tell you what I think when I see it next week.
I got you. What do you think, Marvel DC fan?
You know, to be honest, I'm not really interested in the movie itself. You know, I
Nope.
haven't really seen that much for it when it comes to trailers or anything like that, so I'm completely lost. The last thing I heard about was something about nudes leaking out of the movie, and like it's just I didn't want to judge it on that.
Wow.
So yeah, so
Wow, we go from what do you oh, did you see the nudes?
Did you
Oh,
see those?
it was
nudes.
Did you
yeah, it leaked out.
did
It had something to do with the movie, so I don't know. Like,
you slide into the DMs?
He did.
Wow.
no, I don't. So yeah, I'm completely lost. I don't know what to think about the movie itself, and you know, I'm just not interested in what it is. I might see a trailer later just to see what it's about, but if that doesn't convince me, then you know, this one's a no-go.
Yeah, I got you. Claudia, what do you think about this negative reviews coming out for or mixed reviews for Red Sparrow and them saying it's too brutal? It's not. No, it shouldn't
Maybe
be like this. And
for them to say it, they're just critics. Let the audience review, see the movie and let them decide if it's a good movie or not. At the end of the day, it's us that's paying to watch the movie, not the critics.
Mhm.
And at the end of the day, I mean, I've seen clips of it on Twitch. Like, obviously, it comes up as an advert,
Yeah.
and it's like it looks like a decent film. Not gonna lie. It looks like one of those spy movies that
That are
I
like
believe.
more, I guess, serious compared to like
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's more serious compared to a movie like the James Bond franchise, which is
I mean,
serious.
this
And
series definitely the Daniel Craig
Mhm.
version. Like, I mean, if you're comparing it to like Roger Moore or Sean
no,
Connery,
no,
Well, technically, this spy movie, this Red Sparrow, is supposed to be more brutal than
yeah,
James
I know,
Bond.
I know,
Well,
but then,
like Daniel Craig, that's still a serious franchise. The Daniel
yeah,
Craig
I
one.
mean, it's as brutal as I can get with the PG-13
Yeah,
rating.
that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah,
it's like uh, it,
it's like Kingsman. Let's
yeah,
like
it's
compare
like
it to
Kingsman
Kingsman in
Secret
terms of
Service.
brutality.
Yeah, it's like Kingsman, and it's also like what else is there? It's also I reckon it's also like Atomic Blonde, but I think this movie will succeed. Even though people will say, "Oh, but you're just saying that because Jennifer Lawrence is in it." So what? She's an actress, and she can play that role perfectly. If she can act, then yeah, she can do it, no problem. I know she had her faults in the past, with the X-Men franchise, but we won't get into that. But at the end of the day, in terms of a spy movie, and featuring a serious spy movie like that, brutality, that's the type of spy movie I think people would want to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it would definitely get people's attention because we need a serious spy movie. We haven't had a serious spy movie for about 3 years now.
Yeah, that's true.
But that's just me.
Yeah, got you. One more topic, and then we're gonna go on. It's one more to like the main topic that we'll be discussing. That I'll go off on a kind of rant, kind of forewarning. Interesting in terms of comic book news and movie news. Brian K. Fuller is supposedly working on a Silver Surfer movie
You mean Brian
script.
K. Vaughan?
Brian, yes. Why say Fuller?
I don't know.
It just came to my head for some reason. I was thinking about like Hannibal. But he's a veteran in the comic book industry. He's also did Under the Dome, which isn't that good. But yeah, what do I think quickly say? I don't know. I just need to know more about it. This is really early phases, I'm guessing, and it's very interesting them to kind of keep moving forward with, I guess, the Disney deal still being looked at, and they'll keep going, on their way for business until something until the deal happens. But yeah, no, it's interesting. I'm not to the point where I'm super excited for like the Doctor Doom with Noah. I just need to hear more about it, I guess. But people are like, oh, I'm not going to see it because screw Fox, Disney for life, Marvel for life, MCU for life. And I'm not like that. I'm just like, I would like to see a good movie. I don't see a movie just because it's a part of a cinematic universe. Like, I just want a good movie. That's all. And if Silver Surfer has a good movie, so be it. I'm not gonna say screw Fox and all this stuff. Screw them, because I like Silver Surfer as a character, and I wouldn't mind seeing that. Now, if it's a Kitty Pryde movie, I'm not gonna see it. I just don't find Kitty Pryde interesting. But Silver Surfer, I always found an interesting character, very conflicted, always having to serve like Galactus and being in that conflict with his homeworld being destroyed and all that. And I really enjoy that aspect of his character. So I wouldn't mind seeing one movie of him and seeing his home planet and traveling the world, feeding planets like Galactus. But I guess everyone, Inspector, quick thoughts on that.
I guess it's interesting. I mean, I've never read a Brian K. Vaughan book, so like I don't really know how to judge. But I know he's a very popular writer with like Saga and Runaways and Doctor Strange and all those. So, and he also wrote Lost. He was also a writer for Lost.
I love Lost for some reason. I don't know. Lost is a very controversial thing.
So it's interesting. Like I don't think I'm like Silver Surfer is an interesting character. But I don't know if I would go out and see a Silver Surfer movie.
Silver Surfer or Kitty Pryde movie, choose.
Yeah. Silver Surfer. Like, I don't care about Kitty Pryde.
Exactly. Don't know why that thing, if that's true. Oh my gosh.
I mean, Kitty Pryde is so uninteresting that they made her Star-Lord like a few years ago.
Oh gosh. Marvel DC fan, quick thoughts. Silver Surfer movie happening, possibly happening. What?
I mean, I'd be interested, but I don't know if I'd be interested enough in seeing that movie. Because I feel like with a character like Silver Surfer, he's more suited in a Fantastic Four movie because he's more related to that whole universe and those characters. So I'm not doubting whether or not like it'll be good or not for him to get a solo movie, but I just feel collectively he would work better in a Fantastic Four movie.
Gotcha. Todd, what do you think? Silver Surfer movie.
I think that Silver Surfer movie should be with Fantastic Four. It shouldn't be a standalone movie. Because if you think about it, it does more better and it would succeed more with the Fantastic Four. Because think about it, Fantastic Four and the Silver Surfer. You could think of 100 of comic books along the lines where they have teamed up, and you could do adaptations of that.
Mhm.
But standalone, it just wouldn't make sense to me anyway.
Me, I think their thought process is, well, we can't make a good Fantastic Four movie. And we're just gonna make a Silver Surfer movie, and if Marvel, well, not Marvel, Disney buys out Fox, then they could do the Fantastic Four and then introduce the character that they've done with Silver Surfer. That's my thought process, because I always thought Silver Surfer's origins cool with his own comic and like how he came to be. I always found interesting, and the way just his character progression is awesome. And for me, I wouldn't mind a Silver Surfer solo movie. But the biggest news, I guess, coming out for Disney is not good news. Wrinkle in Time is directed by gosh dang it, Ava DuVernay. She was also offered Black Panther and didn't take the job and took Wrinkle in Time instead, which is interesting. And I'm glad she stayed away from Black Panther. Very glad. Now, people are like, I don't know what was like. Every time I saw trailers for this movie, my friends are like, I can't wait to see this movie when we're watching like, you know, superhero movies. And I'm just like, this looks bad. It looks really, really bad. What do you mean? Did you not read the book? It's like, this doesn't make me want to read the book because of how bad it looks.
It just looks boring.
It looks like CGI is bad.
Yeah.
And no offense to Oprah, but
it looks worse than a CGI mustache.
I just don't think she's a good actress. Like, her talk shows are good, but like Oprah as an actress, I just don't care. Like, it's not gonna entice me to watch the movie. The trailers didn't do anything for me. The acting was meh. It's just like CGI just looked really, really bad. And I feel like this is gonna be a situation like Tomorrowland for Disney, and this movie is not going to do well, and we got mixed, you know, social media reaction, and this isn't really good for Disney.
And the embargo doesn't lift until the day before the movie comes out, which is not a good sign.
Yeah, it's just they know this movie isn't going to rack in money, and I guess people are just like, wait, why is the same thing not happening with, you know, same thing happening with Black Panther is not happening for Wrinkle in Time? And I'm saying because the reason why it's probably not going to end up happening is because the movie's not good. Like, it's just bad. It's like, I don't know what happened in this process, because I heard she's a good director, right? But like,
she did I think she did Selma.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think she did Selma. I might be wrong.
No, I think you're right about that. I was hearing people say that. But I don't know. Maybe in this type of big budget CGI stuff that she's not good with. And it is what it is. And I'm kind of glad she didn't choose Black Panther, because it might not have been that great. And my thing is, I don't know why some people are like, I can't wait to see this film. I can't wait to see it, because I don't know what they were seeing of it. I thought CGI is bad. I thought the acting was meh, and it just looked very bland and very like just not good. And Disney knows, because of what Inspector said and them waiting for reviews to come out like the day before or the day before. But it's just Disney knows it's not going to make much money, and I don't think so. And I can't wait for people to be like, oh, Wrinkle in Time? Yeah, we'll watch Ready Player One, save our money, and later watch Ready Player One when it comes down. I'll be that type of person, because that's the only movie I'll see that month. But yeah, I guess, Inspector, what do you think about this news for this mixed social media reaction for this movie?
Just so we can like speed it up, I'm just going to keep it short. I'm not like I don't want to say I'm not surprised because again, this movie wasn't on my radar, but like it just it's not a movie that appeals to me. So, and I guess it's not a movie that appeals to the critics. So, like it's kind of like a whatever movie.
Yeah. And what do you say to the people that say though? Why will it not have that level of success that Black Panther does with the representation in their film? I guess.
I think it's just the marketing. The
Mm-hmm.
marketing has been really bad for this movie. Like, there's been no trailers. Like, there's only like I've only seen trailers in the theaters. I haven't seen any TV spots.
That's true. Okay.
So I think it's mainly the marketing and also just the word of mouth from the critics and like the reviews and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. This is like there's the last live action movie Disney related. Not saying like Marvel or Star Wars was Beauty and the Beast, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that made over $1 billion.
And this is another live action, and it's not gonna do well. So now they gotta wait for Lion King.
Circle of life.
Marvel DC fan, what do you think about the mixed social media reaction going on in Twitter and all that for Wrinkle in Time?
Well, I mean, I'm not surprised because, you know, from what I've seen myself, trailers, you know, it doesn't look too interesting. You know, the acting does kind of fall flat a bit, but because I read the book and I really enjoy it. I enjoyed it. So I'm not gonna be in that camp where, like, I'm just gonna hate on it because, you know, because why not, right? So, because I am actually going to go see this with my mom, and because she loves the book, this is her favorite. So I'm kind of optimistic that this movie could be decent, but for right now, as it stands, this does look like a Tomorrowland situation where it will just flop hard.
Man, I hope you have a better like. I know my friends; they were just like friends and family members who went to the Dark Tower movie, and they're just like, "Oh, I love this book series. I can't wait for this movie. And it's not going to be that bad." And then they watch it like, "Oh my gosh, it's bad." Like, I hope you don't get that situation when you watch that movie.
I'll let you know what happens.
Oh shoot. Taladia, what do you think about this news? Mixed social media reaction for A Wrinkle in Time.
I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. I'm on the same board with Inspector here, with what he said, and like I'll probably see the movie when it comes out on TV and that to judge it.
Do you think there was no saving this movie? That there was nothing really to be done to kind of salvage?
Yeah, there's nothing to be salvaged for this movie, to be fair.
Okay. All right, guys. That is going to be it for this episode. We're going to do our outros. And yeah, hey, I got spring break, so expect some videos. Yeah. Some God of War and some other ones because it's going to be a couple interesting things, theories. And I might do some Kingdom Hearts. So enjoy that stuff and look forward to it. And I may be making a comeback video for like a Spider-Man, why Marvel Spider-Man sucks, and not the movie, but the animated show. I'll make part 2 for it and kind of talk about why the direction they're going in is bad with having like 4 or 5 Spider-Men or Spider-Man and women.
Don't call it comeback.
Yeah, that's true. I'm talking about my comeback of my my divisive video. Because dude, it was like, oh shoot, you're wrong, Red Hood. It's not gonna suck, and then it sucks. And I'm just like, I told you people. They want to listen. But yeah, look forward to it. Also, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, bell notifications, like this podcast video, share it with your friends. Inspector, where can they find you at?
They can follow me on Twitter at the Inspector.
Nice. Marvel DC fan, where can they follow you and search you?
Well, of course, like always, there's my YouTube channel, which is Marvel DC Phoenix 99. You can talk to me on Twitter, which is at Marvel DC Phoenix 99 on Twitter. Facebook, talk to me there. Marvel DC Fan on Facebook. You can catch me live on YouNow, which is younow.com/Marvel DC Phoenix 99. So, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, all that amazing stuff. And have a good night, guys.
And Talada, where can they find you at?
You guys can find me on Twitter, which is at mtaladia on Twitter. You can find me on Twitch, which is twitch.tv/Taladia Plays, where I play Fortnite, I play Return to Arkham, and I'm also doing Star Wars as well. You can also find me on YouTube, which is youtube.com/Taladia Plays, or you can search me up on YouTube. Just type in Taladia Plays, you'll find me there. Currently, I haven't got no videos planned up at the moment, but soon, hopefully, there will be a video coming out. But make sure you do like the videos and what I've posted up and everything. And once you come by and say hello to my live streams and stuff, because at the end of the day, I do them at 8 p.m. UK time, and yeah, we have a pretty fun time, Fortnite and everything else, and I get the viewers involved, 16 and above, that is, for these Fortnites with the viewers. So make sure you come by.
All right. Guys, this is the Overleveled podcast. Signing off.
See you guys later.
See you guys later.